Hey guys, Dirty Mike D here, and we're looking at the Strasbourg Tier 6 French battleship. And to me, she's a beauty. Second in her line with the Dunkirk. She's a little bigger, a little longer, about 1,000 tons more, has a little bit better armor, but other than that, they're pretty similar. This old girl's got 55,000 hit points the way I've got her set up. 25% torpedo reduction, armor between 16 and 360 millimeters all around. She's got two quad turrets with 330s in her. Your ranges and reloads are going to be a little different depending on your commanders. But here you go. There they are right there. She's got relatively decent AA, not the best in her tier, but not the worst either. It does put in work. The maneuverability is pretty good though. She's 30 knots, which is pretty quick, and with an 8.2 rudder, you can shimmy here and there. 14.2 detectability. You can stop shooting every once in a while and go undetected. It does work. She's not the biggest. I'm using Dunkirk on there with Cunningham and Ravallo for a reload. Brawler. I like Brawler for the reload time. I also like frontal fire because I like to be able to switch immediately my thing. Megalomania helps with the reload time and the detectability after shooting. And then here, I don't really like the other two, so I just put it on the secondary mod. I may change this up. I don't know. Running with scissors, since I don't have will to rebuild, works pretty well. Like I said, I use Ravel for a reload and Cunningham for accuracy because this thing is like a shotgun. Now let's take a look at some of the armor here for Strasbourg. She's got 26 millimeter bow and stir armor. I'm gonna do a quick spin around the ship, let you really just kind of see the armor layout as it is without removing any layers. Turrets are pretty thick. Typical superstructure, super thin. There's an little bit of orange there on one of the secondary turrets. I'm gonna pop off the front and rear torpedo protection. Let you start seeing under the skirt here. Get rid of the superstructure. And so here you are with some of the, you can see the turtle back. I just pulled it off. It's pretty thick. The Citadel's underwater pretty much, maybe just a little bit on top. Here's that turtle back and Citadel armor again. Looks pretty thick. You add this little piece on top. This is like ancillary stuff. You see that bit of turquoise there? That's a pretty soft spot that I think if a shell hits through your nose armor, it's going to be a problem. So right there, just before the turret, you could plunge down, but I mean, you got that turtle back there, so that's going to help. I don't think it's the worst armor layout, but she is soft. This game was a decent game for me. I average a lot of 60 to 80,000 games. This game here ends up being a pretty good 100K game, and it kind of shows what she's good at. I kind of take off, and I'm not a big fan of Two Brothers, and she's only got like 14.8 to 14.2 distance on it, so you can't hang back and snipe, especially with her dispersion. The dispersion on this thing is like a shotgun. It's mainly horizontal. But let's see here. I'm going to take a shot at this Normandy here. I actually hold them because I stopped being seen because that destroyer went through the gap. So I just kind of hold and get a little closer before I put my rounds right into this mountain. But as soon as that mountain icon goes away, here we go. We'll start shooting at it. And look at that dispersion. Those groups are actually pretty decent. But as you can see, there's a lot of horizontalness to it. I found that she splashed a little close, so I started aiming a little higher. And I think it helped. Just overall. But I get some good pens and even a couple over pens. Change to HE. Trying to call out the Benson. But I keep hitting the fucking battleship instead. Whatever. Little reverse action. I don't want those other battleships to shoot at me. Plunging fire is a bad deal for this thing. She's a little better up close than she is at a distance because your accuracy really suffers at distance. But I mean, I'd use my plane and use my reload to get a couple extra shots on that Normandy. I would have liked to have got it more like 25,000 than 30,000 or 13,000, but it is what it is. Time to push forward, get some more shots on this Normandy. I've got HE loaded, but I got that shell switch, so it's like 95% reduction. So I'm fine with whatever I have. It only takes like 0.6 seconds for me to change shell type. I love that about it. There's the Normandy. Take some shots at it as she's going away. HE. She had just put out a fire, so these fires I get on her are permanent, and then I think it takes a flood too. Watch this. This right there in the butt. Ha! So, yeah, she just keeps flooding and on fire for a while, and I decide to kind of focus it and just finish taking it out. See, I switched to AP there. Couple decent hits, not the best. I mean, these guns are small, you know. These guns are kind of small, so you're not going to get big damages a lot unless you just get lucky with the Citadel. You're going to get a lot of bounces, and you're going to have to pick your shots. Honestly, I should have stuck with HE here, maybe tried for another fire, but I didn't. Oh well, Normandy's gone. Benson coming around. I'm not even gonna change shots. I don't get a chance to anyway. Synop, it was like they were doing the Chuck Norris defense where they just came one at a time. So I just took advantage of it, stayed where I was. No reason to really go out where other people can shoot at me. My team holds up pretty well in this match doing this. Synop's kind of angled bad. I should have really waited and switched to HE and kept burning her down. But I didn't. New Mexico here, same thing. Decides to just give broadside. And like you said, like I said, you don't see me get a lot of Citadels with this. It's just regular pens. Regular pens or over pens. Citadels were hard to get. Here I hit the New Mexico pretty good, I think. Yeah, 9,700. Would have liked to have seen a 12K hit, but whatever. If they're going to keep lining up like that, I'm just going to keep shooting. But I got the reload down pretty far that I sling a lot of lead, you know? That was not a good hit. Look at that. 5 overpens. How am I overpenning with this size gun, you know? 330s? It's ridiculous. There's a Citadel. Now that's decent damage. So it can be done. You can Citadel things in the Strasbourg. I start getting aggressive. And it's one thing this ship's pretty good at is aggression. It's a fast ship, and it can get you into trouble fast or kind of out of trouble fast. So I just push, try to get some better angles on these ships. The Synop decides to go all the way around the island. So there's this Nelson over here. And here's the thing. I thought this Nelson was AFK. I thought he was disconnected just by the way he was acting. I hadn't really seen him shoot. So I played this really wrong and just ignored him. And you'll see it come bite me in the ass here in a minute. Those rounds there, seen him fly over. Didn't even think about him coming from the Nelson. I don't know why. Just a dumb tactical error on my part. But either way, he can't shoot at me because of these houses right here. And like I said, I kind of start looking at him, and he didn't seem like he hadn't moved at all. So it's time to punish this Synop for coming around land. Here I give broadside to that Nelson because I think he's not playing right now. A Citadel there on this Synop, not too bad. And this is where I realize that this Nelson's playing. There goes my secondaries going off. Now I've got a turret missing. Because of the armor scheme on this thing, you're not going to angle. You're not going to stop people from hurting you. There's no way to bounce shells. But think I end up hurting this Synop a little bit more before I die, but I end up doing 105. But here's the thing. You can't give broadside to a Nelson like this and expect to survive very long. This was a really dumb mistake. I thought, you know what, I'll just pick on this aircraft carrier. But watch this, as most of my life is relieved of me. There we go. There we go. Yeah, she's not bouncing anything, especially broadsides. I'm not getting citadeled. I'm just taking regular pens for the most part. Because honestly, the turtleback on this thing does pretty decent. But you just can't give this much to both a Synop and a Nelson and expect to survive for very long. Secondaries, we're putting in a little bit of work. There are some secondaries, and there are some AA on this. But there I am, 105,000. She's a special ship. I don't know if she's going to be the best Tier 6 at all, but she's serviceable. Just know what she's good at, and you'll do all right. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.